can just hold it for you
Yeah.
while you talk.
Tomorrow when my decorations come down. I have a big miracle from the 6th of December to the 6th of It's St. Nicholas Day. Yeah, and the 6th is Mary's Epiphany. So
Oh, Andrea is giving it out.
Riley, can you hear me? Thanks, Leslie.
in the original story, it's but then it's the faith coming to the Gentiles. Really interesting. They made it all up anyway. What is a myth? It's somebody else's faith.
Ring the bell.
Well, people aren't seated yet.
Good morning. So good to be with you in this way. My name is Ben Robbins, and I'm glad to be your minister. I'm on Zoom today because of COVID. I'm feeling mostly fine. I apologize if I cough a little bit. But also that's the reason today's programming after service is postponed until I can make it. We are a living tradition. We glean what we can from the past without being defined by its forms. We play with traditions to keep them alive. We explore new ways of being that are in line with our timeless principles. We make room for both the old and the new. Please see the announcements in our order of service and note that the next session of end-of-life issues is next Sunday after service. Everyone is welcome to any or all sessions. And we now have a pledge drive update from Pam Berman, and then I will continue.
Press the button.
Yes? Good. Okay. When I last left you, we were at 70. Oh, we're not centered. Move over, Marilyn. You remember the cucumber game here. When I last left you, we were at 78.3%, and I said I would wait till a final update before I came back, leave you alone for the holiday season. And, this is a good day to do this on, hope, because I was hopeful but not sure that we would make our goal, but it came down to the last two people, and we are over our goal. We are over our goal. We are at $110,950. Amazing. those cucumbers, man, they just grew and grew. Thank you. Thank you to my team, too, because couldn't have done it without you guys.
Yes, thank you so much to Pam and the team, and the congregation members and friends for making this happen. Really fabulous. Today, you may have gotten a piece of water-soluble paper as you came into the room for our well ceremony. And if you don't, you could raise your hand. And those online, you can just have a piece of paper to write on if you wish, or a metaphorical piece of paper. The paper is to write something you are letting go of, and or something you are carrying forward into 2025, or something you're making room for in 2025. You can write something at any time before the well ceremony. So perhaps your answer already came to you clearly, what you want to let go of or what you want to bring into the new year. Perhaps your answer will come during the reflection. Thank you to our volunteers and staff who make our Sunday services possible. Our service assistants today are Amy Moonshadow and Mary Lou McDonald. We have Riley Friesen on tech and Tristan Kellaway on keys. Thank you also to whoever got the coffee going and who said hello at the door. If you are new or we haven't met, I'd love to say hello next time I'm there. And today I look forward to connecting with those on Zoom after the service. We now have Brian Gifford with a land and climate acknowledgement. So you can go ahead, Brian.
Thank you, Ben. We are gathered today in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. We respect and honor our shared treaty relationship. We are committed to upholding our duties and responsibilities as treaty people. We also acknowledge that Nova Scotia is home to over 50 African Nova Scotian communities whose culture, heritage, and histories have been and remain a key part of this province for more than 400 years. For generations, African Nova Scotians have experienced injustice due to systemic racism in Halifax and Nova Scotia and still do today. As a community that is committed to social justice, we will listen to and learn from Mi'kmaq and Black Nova Scotian neighbors and organizations and search for ways to address injustices in Nova Scotia and beyond. We encourage each of you to seek out events and opportunities to learn more. There are two possibilities this month. Yesterday, Amy Moonshadow and I joined a tour of a history exposed enslavement of Black people in Canada at the Pier 21 Museum of Immigration. This harsh reality is well told. The exhibit closes today at Pier 21, but will then move to the Black Cultural Center from now to June. In addition, Neptune will run Controlled Damage, a play about Nova Scotia's Viola Desmond, from January 14th to February 2nd. Both are highly recommended. We acknowledge that the Mi'kmaq understanding of the importance of all our relations, that is, our relationship with all elements of this beautiful, extraordinary world we live in, fits with our 7th UU principle, respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are part. In keeping with this principle, we commit to do all that we can to stop climate change. We are committed to a lifelong journey of learning and working towards truth, reconciliation, and justice, and restoring our relationship with the world we are a part of. Thank you.
Amy?
Translating words are by Albert Schweitzer. I guess I need there.
Well, or you could come around to the lectern.
Our translating words are by Albert Schweitzer. At times, our own light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another person. Each of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lit the flame within us. So now, if we can please rise in body or spirit for the opening hymn, which is number 347 in the gray hymnal, Gather the Spirit. The words are going to be up on the screens.
Back in October, I told you a story about an angry bike ride that I had. To refresh your memory, one morning when I was 27, I got up on the wrong side of the bed. I went for an angry bike ride, cursing the world as I pushed up a hill. And at the top of the hill, I look up, expecting the world to be cursing me back. But instead, I realize it is a beautiful day. I'll continue the story by saying that I don't recall how long this feeling lasts, this connection to a larger beauty. Does it carry me through the day? I don't know. Time passes, days or weeks. I'm in the shower and realize that I'm cursing someone in my head. I'm angry that this person isn't respecting me the way I want to be respected. I notice how angry I am. I have this glimpse of self-awareness, and then I get caught up in it again. Time passes. I'm in the grocery store and realize I haven't had a pleasant thought in days, maybe weeks. I keep getting caught up in my head. I realize that if I don't intentionally remind myself to love, I might not get the choice. Now over to Amy with Joys, Sorrows, and Complex Truths. Over to Mary Lou for Joys, Sorrows, and Complex Truths.
In this community, we make space for the opportunity to share what is in our hearts. The joys, sorrows, and complex truths of being human. Whatever happened to you to your life this week. We hope that you are not going through it alone. You are welcome to place a stone in the water and share, or you might place a stone in silence as you wish. If anybody doesn't want to come forward and use the microphone, I will bring it to you. Here's the microphone.
Say it first.
It's on now.
All right, thank you. Hello? There we go. Yeah, unfortunately, I've lost some friends to some intrusive substance use habits. So just keep a thought in our heads for those of us that are struggling with addiction.
And find a stone for the well. Looks like we're all saving up for to put our wishes in the well later on. But as always, I will add one more stone for all the unspoken joys, sorrows, complex truths that we've had in our minds as we think about what we'll write on the paper.
Hello, my name is Amy Moonshadow. My pronouns are she, her. The work of this community is made possible by the donations of time, talent, and of course money. Thank you for however you give, and we trust that you will give however much is right for you. Most donate by monthly e-transfer, but we also pass the basket. Today, our basket goes to the operating fund. So whatever your situation, thank you for being part of this community. Where's the basket?
You could use the chime bowl.
I just discovered we don't seem to have baskets out. Do you want to use the singing bowl?
Yeah. And so, while the basket's being passed, the singing bowl is being passed, we'll sing our offertory hymn, which is number 83 in the gray hymnal, Winds Be Still. The lyrics will be up on the screen again.
Storm
That sounds like a very amused and joyful experience of Winds Be Still that you just had in the sanctuary. Very curious, but love how that song makes me feel. The other day, I was reading about the lead up to the Spanish Civil War and the rise of Franco as dictator. So yeah, it's a little fun holiday reading. Yeah. I'm sure there are people here who know much more about it than me, so if I'm wrong on any details, though I think my point will stand. So it was a scary time. Europe in the 1930s, the rise and spread of fascism, and I will give away the ending. Franco won the Spanish Civil War and ruled as dictator for about 40 years. The poet Antonio Machado had said that there were two Spains, the Spain of the powers that be and the Spain of the people. So there's the Spain of the landowners and priests with a clamp on anything new, the Spain of the people who were alive and creative and real. That might be a bit simplified and romanticized, but it will do. So there were two Spains, the powerful and the progressive. And apparently Franco hated them both. So he decided to take over and run the country himself. Progressives from far and wide flocked to Spain to fight him. George Orwell, for example, George Orwell went to fight, and he was amazed at the integrity of the people's movement. Class divisions were gone. Everyone spoke to each other with respect, not using traditional hierarchical language. A real people's movement that brought out the best in everyone. But within 6 months, things changed. Orwell saw that class divisions were back within the progressive camp. And in fact, the people's movement was actually an enormous pile of infighting. There were just so many factions. And it looked like Joseph Stalin's communists had infiltrated and taken over the main faction. So what do you do? What would you do if you were there? Some people join the communists to fight the dictator. Some people join the dictator to fight the communists. Either way, give up just a little piece of your soul in order to fight a greater evil. Some people found a faction they believed in, fighting the good fight in that part of Spain. They kept their integrity, even if it meant not being at the center of history. I'll give away the ending again. Franco won, ruled as dictator until his death 40 years later. And the poet Antonio Machado again, the one who described the two Spains, he wrote, "We lost the war, but at a human level, I am not so sure. Perhaps we won." Imagine he meant those who stayed true to their vision, who lived with humanity, even as they lost the war, perhaps at the human level, their spirits won. Franco said that his fight was about survival. Now, survival is at the bottom of Maslow's hierarchy. So there's the question, how much humanity was he willing to give up in order to survive, in order to be feared by all around him? Made me think of a scene in Star Wars, one of the prequels. Anakin Skywalker watches his mother die. And at his graveside, he says, "I wasn't strong enough to save you, Mom. I wasn't strong enough. I promise you I won't fail again." So he takes his revenge on those who killed her. But in doing so, his heart turns cold as he decides that power will solve his problems. He wasn't strong enough if he'll just be strong enough. And that is how he becomes Darth Vader, Lord of the Empire. In general, I'm an optimist. In general, I think most people are good. We can do amazing things together. In today's political context, I'm concerned about a couple of things. I'm concerned about the wrong people being in power, but I'm also concerned about what will happen to the human spirit when we fight them. There's plenty to fight against, so let's fight the good fight. But I'm concerned what that might do to us. I'm concerned that I or that we might become jaded, for example. We might become cynical. We might start to feel a little too much disrespect about a few too many things. Do you know that trope in movies? I've seen quite a few movies. The hero is chasing the villain. The villain pushes through the crowd, knocks someone over, steps on beautiful flower bed of daffodils, interrupts a street corner wedding proposal with, no concern for it, just doesn't care. The villain only cares about herself. And then the hero is giving chase, bumps into someone, knocks the person's hat off, stops, picks up the hat, apologizes, but is now a few more steps behind the villain. I'm concerned that I'll stop caring about the passerby because all that matters is catching the villain. Or I'm concerned that I'll get so angry at the villain that I'll lose connection to her humanity or even mine. I'm concerned that I'll see a villain where there is simply another human coming from a different set of experiences. So it's okay to be judgy sometimes. It's okay to be cynical. We're not angels, we're human. But in today's political climate, jadedness can get out of hand. It's hard enough just being human, and then if you throw in inflation and the housing shortage and the rise of reactionary politics, jadedness can easily get out of hand. So it's helpful, excuse me, it's helpful to have a practice of checking in with yourself. How am I doing? How am I staying connected to my principles? Is my heart open? Is my mind open? It's okay to be judgy sometimes, but is it in proportion? And is it serving me and my mission or our mission? So today we notice how we're doing. We do a spiritual checkup, so to speak. And then we decide what to do about it. Is it time to let go of some jadedness? Or perhaps for you, it's not jadedness, it's something else. What do you want to let go of? What do you want to wash away to start the year fresh? What is a pattern of yours that might have served you in the past, but isn't serving you now? Or perhaps never served you in the past? So let's take a moment to think about it. What do you want to let go of? And once you've narrowed it down to a word or two, write it on that piece of water-soluble paper. And if you need one, please raise your hand. And those on Zoom, maybe you can grab a piece of paper. What is something you want to let go of as you enter 2025? And what do you want to nurture in your life? What do you want more of? What foundation are you building for your spirit? What will help you continue to be you, or what will help you become the person you want to be, more of the person you want to be? What do you want to bring into 2025? And once you've narrowed it down to a word or two, you can write it on the paper.
Somebody needs to be first.
I'll say a couple more words, Mary Lou. Yeah, so it's time for our well ceremony. So I invite you to come forward to the water bowl. Say, if you wish, you can say what you were letting go of and or what you were bringing into the new year. And it's fine to not say anything and just come up and drop the water, your paper into the water in silence. The paper takes about 10 seconds to dissolve, and occasionally Mary Lou might give the water a slight stir to help things dissolve. And the water will become slightly cloudy as we go, which I am imagining is the way the water is holding all that we want to bring into 2025. So yes, if you would like to come up and say your word or just put the paper in the water, please go ahead.
Letting go of doubt.
independence
Ooh,
and becoming more interdependent.
good luck.
Letting go of fear and tension and seeking wholeness and love.
Let these disintegrate first. And then okay.
Letting go of fear.
Too many things to mention.
I often hold back from speaking and sharing, especially in front of a group, so I feel I should announce that as I let it go.
Welcoming friendship and community and letting go of not feeling worthy.
Getting rid of the things that clutter my life, both physical and useless thoughts. So are we doing both
Yeah.
at once? Okay. And so my resolution is to make more art and write a letter and send it daily. Keep Canada Post going. Make them happy, they ended the strike.
Would anyone on Zoom like to speak their words aloud?
I can do
Scott.
that. What I would let go of the dismissal of people with whom I have fundamental disagreements with, recognizing their humanity. And I would try to continue to reach out with love to those people that I have lost contact with or have had limited contact with.
Yeah, I'll go. I'd like to get rid of fear and its close cousin hate. And I'd like to move forward in love and optimism, even though that's difficult.
Just give Leslie, you got a spotlight.
I'd like to let go of something very specific. Not all Americans are bad. And on the positive side, what I'd like to improve would be more social contacts for my own benefit, and I think for the community. Thank you.
Thanks so much, everyone. So may we have a fresh start to 2025, remembering who we are and what we dream of. It was really an honor to hear what is going on for each of you and imagining what is going on for us as a whole. Please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, number 131, Love Will Guide Us. And the words are going up on the screen.
time now to extinguish our chalice. May we carry with us the warmth of compassion, the glow of love, the fire of commitment, and the light of truth. And so thank you so much for coming. Our service is now officially over. There's coffee, and I hope lots of great conversation through the doors to that would be the southeast.